Yeah, excuse how I look. It's the middle of the morning, night, or whatever you want to call it. I've been kept awake all night again by these flipping, trying not to swear. I've been implanted with thought processes that are devolved and not my own. A lot of them swearing. They've used my creative process to actually emulate it and shift it into different realms. So, I don't know why it's doing that. So they've moved it from one form into another, which is my source given creative process, to use it to harm me actually. So I don't know how to even start with this. There's so much to it. I've been contaminated big time. Big time, not being something word what I would use. It's actually my ex partners. So they've literally infiltrated me with male spirits. I used to look like my mum. The religious institute, which I believe is a cult, fed my dad into me as the devil and made him consume me inside and look through his eyes. I know that sounds absolutely frigging weird and unbelievable, but it's true. And then I look like him. I've got evidence of this. My passport is that, and it has been destroyed because I couldn't bear to look at it because it made me literally physically sick. Since this, because I didn't realise I'd been involved in a crime network since being a little girl. I've been having all that come up, and they've put sensations and feelings of other people, of men, on me, and they involved me and my daughter in a paedophile ring. Um, and then they've tried to transfer them feelings onto me. Now I don't have them feelings because I went through ascension and I went through self-realization, which I transcended those feelings. So I don't ever feel sexual in that context ever because I moved beyond it, which is like the angelic. It's being a woman, but it's also having the God consciousness of the all presence, nothing sexualized in that. It's it's unexplainable. I don't know how to explain it. Literally doing this video because everything's been hidden. I've noticed whether I don't believe in the news. I've got to be honest. I don't know how much is truth. I know that what I've gone through has not been published and nothing has actually come forth, but I'm trying to figure out the patterns of this because I ascended and opened up to everything and connected everything. I see a lot. When they've tortured me again, I've sort of seen a lot more in separation this time. I think they're using the cross. So basically, again, I don't know where to start. Firstly, I want to say that the NHS has completely annihilated my life and has covered it up in many ways since I was a child. I have tried to work with these people. I never want to use this service if I can't help it ever again. And I want to know where I can go because I've been forced into poverty my entire life because of torture. I want to know where I can go to get any kind of medical health care because when they force me in there, they harm me and they know that they're harming me. The last time I went in, they illegally put me in there. They illegally put me in what they call care, which is more like imprisonment, knowing that I was in an enlightened state, and knowing that I was fawned from torture, and got 5 nurses to pin me down for no reason. I was in fawn, could not fight back, wouldn't have fought back anyway because I'm not like that. And they inserted an injection illegally against my will into my bottom, which caused another hematoma, which is what happened in 2020, July 2020, just before all them doctors got done. They've not got the punishment this time because they've put conflict on my head, so it's actually stopping anything from happening. They did this when they've put me in there and forced me to stay in there. I wrote a document out to state that I wouldn't receive any medication because it goes not only against my beliefs and my will, and I'm not religious, But it also isn't what I believe in, but it harms my body a lot. So they wouldn't allow me to have any internet in there because my internet has been infiltrated, and I've been stalked, and so has my daughter for multiples of years now, which was transferred from other people onto us when they reversed us. I've been tortured and no one's helped me again. I've been left for dead and no one's helped me again. My whole family was infiltrated. I believe it's the government and religion what's done this together. I knew when my son come back that he was like a military agent. It's the only way I can explain it. And he said, when I can get you to realise this, my mission is complete. Now, he'd never speak like that. All of the faces changed. This was after being forced onto a religious course. They do this just like the ambulance and police have just done it to me also. When they've illegally took me outside into an ambulance rather than actually speaking to me. I wanted to speak to the police to get resolved with my ex-husband because I know he's the puppeteer in a lot of this. Um, since I met him, he's done nothing but create chaos in my life and reverse it on me. He knows the system well because he's worked in business a lot and he works in killing things, so it just tells you everything really. They work in a four-way thing, so my house got broken into by they used a locksmith, my ex-husband's dad, and I'm not controlling my eyes here when they're moving. My eyes don't move like this, by the way. I'm still not in control of my own eyes because they've put these bionic shitting things on, and it just makes me want to die. It's not, I'm not suicidal, but it's conflicting my nature. Having AI or robotics on you is conflicting your human nature. And I actually want the government to put a law in place that if people are going to do this to people, that they can at least have assisted death, which would then have murder put on my records by every single person who has murdered me, because that is what's going on. And that's what's gone on most of my life. This has all been hidden and it is sickening. Sickening. I've been kept up again all night. I go in work, I have to pretend I'm okay. I'm made to look okay because of what they've done to my head. Again, they used my son, my ex-husband's dad, and I believe it's him who's planned all this. Like I said, he's done it before. I've seen him doing it. I'm a witness to him doing it a lot of times before. My ex-husband's dad and my ex-husband. They've used the law, they've used the government and religion in the favour because of the patriarch, and they just don't care about women. My dad's kind of like that as well. He gets his kicks out of harming me. Um, so they broke in, forcing us out. So that's the forcing us out. They broke in to force us out. They used his ex-wife and granddaughter to give boxes from I won't say where she works, but they brought in, and then my parents, and it was sectioned up and split actually. My parents, my mum disappeared off the scene. Um, my parents and my brother and my son, on one occasion, my brother and son, where I was completely, that I was dead actually. I was like on the floor, literally dead, left for dead, while they both was both in my house taking my son's stuff out, and his stuff out went out pristine, and they shouted and abused at me, and I was on the floor for 3 days dying because of what they did to my head. I believe it was the government that did this to my head. Only because of what was said afterward. They kept saying, you're going to have to go into care and have a care order. It was shown in a holographic sensor. I think they must have infiltrated my eyes when they did that, putting that hole in my head. The same happened when they've put this electric field around my head. So they did that inwards and then did that outwards. It's like I'm a mirror or something. I don't really know. So they brought the boxes in and they took my stuff out. My son's stuff was kept pristine. My daughter's stuff was broken into bits. They broke a lot of stuff in that house and I had to fix it while it still made to work at that point in time as well. Because I had no money otherwise to get a house. And they stole my stuff. Half of it got took and half of it come back and it was all defiled. A lot of it weren't my stuff. The same's happened with the council with my money. They've split it, mirrored it, doubled it, paid it different times, beginning and end. I can see exactly what they're doing. It's like this. Is it going to make me be a robot? I prefer to be dead. It's not life. I refuse going into care. It's a murdering place, it's not care. The NHS, with regards to the NHS, they have literally slaughtered me over and over again from being a child. I was forced antibiotics as a child, literally throughout my entire childhood, and fluoride tablets at the dentist. The dentist knocked me out to the point that my mum had to carry me home because I was poisoned. That has happened so many times in my life with men raping me because that pattern starts from there. And you got to understand that when people harm you in these ways, like I've been seriously harmed by the NHS, but I've also been harmed by a lot of workplaces because nobody takes fucking responsibility. And that's why nationally we're going through a lot of crisis right now. I've not harmed the system's harmed me. They've reversed me back, so it's like I've devolved into flesh again. You can't ascend and go backwards. That's why everything's being uncovered, because it's like if you have a carpet down and you put a rug on top of it, if you start walking through the rug, it automatically lifts and exposes the floor. It's the only way I can explain it. There's a lot more to this, but I'm really struggling at the moment to just explain. They do backwards things. So when I went into the police station to get help, they harmed me. The ambulance man lied and falsified evidence. He turned around and said I was an alcoholic. I am not an alcoholic. He also said I was emotionally unstable. I wasn't. I was very calm. So he was pouring onto me what he wanted in my life because they know how to work me now. So they reverse it. So because it's patriarch, men are in control of women. So basically, I have to live that experience at the end. I refuse to be an alcoholic. I used to drink. I wouldn't have ever said that I was alcoholic ever. I was not. I was around the wrong people and I've been conscious and I didn't know I was how I was. So with being how I am, what I noticed was a lot of people around me, if I get away from them, I'm myself. But when I'm around them, it's like they infiltrate me. I'm very pure. So it's not the greatest of things in all fairness. So like in devolved state, it's fun. But it doesn't actually mean devolved, it just means torture. It's like the lower consciousness. And then in a higher state, that would be enlightenment. and it's the difference between separation and unity as such. If you're gonna do a dual way, but it isn't really that, because that's like a line and it's not like that. It's more a circular sphere. Like, um, I'm doing this video. I feel like someone's wanted me to do this video, in fairness, to give me shit. But I'm sorry for me swearing again. Like I said, I've been implanted with lots of statements so that I'm not myself anymore. Um, to appear to be something that I'm not. And that's religion, because they defiled me. I went in there genuinely to assist, to get them out of the mess they was in, as I thought, led by source. But I realised I was set up because my ex-husband and his wife actually took my daughter to church, and neither of my children are christened purposefully. Um, and they took her in, so they'd done the beginning and the end on me there so that I'd take her. They reverse things. So they know exactly what they're doing. I know they do. He's done it to me before. He made it look like I was cheating on him in our relationship, and it was him cheating on me. He reversed our divorce, so that he could block my path. I've had my path blocked now. I can't seem to get housing, and I don't know whether it's because they keep putting conflicting statements on my head, of which I can't work with. I don't know what the hell to do with it, because I'm sane. So yes means yes and no means no to me. I can't physically work with saying no to people and then it meaning a yes, or yes to people and then it meaning a no, because I don't work like that. And like I said, I'd be looking at the camera right about now if I was using my own eye movements, but I'm not. So please forgive me. This isn't what I look like. What they've done as well is they've managed to use sonar through my ears and blast it, and it's opened up like my stomach and things like that. And they've connected things. I don't know how the hell they're doing this. They've connected things together so that one action creates another. So if I yawn, I then itch my face, and then I trump, and I don't ever trump. Um, they've took over my system. Last night when I was in bed, they jolted my central nervous system through my nerves. I think it possibly is the sciatic nerves, and took control of my legs. I'm scared.